What if I told you that the more help you ask for, the less control you have over your own life? What if every time you stretch your hand to someone, you're not receiving help, but rather, you're signing a silent agreement to be controlled? What if every favor you receive comes with a hidden price you don't see until it's too late? Think about a man who cannot eat unless someone feeds him, someone who cannot walk unless someone leads him, a person who cannot decide until someone approves him. Is he being helped, or is he slowly being owned? Remember, a bird that keeps asking others to carry it will one day forget it ever has wings. And when the day comes that no one is willing to carry it anymore, it won't fly and it will fall. So ask yourself, are you being supported, or you are in a cage of help? This is the story of a young man who kept asking for help until he lost the right to live his own life. Listen carefully, because every line in this story can change the way you think. Once upon a time, in a little village where mornings smelled like a fresh earth, there lived a man named Simon, a quiet young man with dreams but no confidence in himself. He didn't trust his decisions. Simon feared making mistakes, and more than anything, he feared failing in front of others. So he built a habit. Whenever life presented a challenge, he turned to his neighbors. Not once, not twice, but for everything. When his roof started leaking during the rains, he didn't try to fix it. Simon went to his neighbor. "Please, can you help me repair my roof?" They did. When he wanted to start selling goods in the market, he didn't plan it himself. "Please, what should I do? Can you guide me?" And they advised him on everything. When he ran out of money, he knocked again. "Please, just this once, I'll pay you later." And they gave him, even for small things. What should I wear to the meeting? Should I accept this opportunity? Is this a good idea? Simon stopped thinking for himself because it was easier to let others think for him. At first, it felt like love, support, and like community. But what feels like support can slowly become a system of control. After some years, people began to change toward Simon. One very morning, Simon went to borrow money again from Mr. Robert, who is his neighbor. Mr. Robert looked at him and said, "I will help you, but you must work in my shop every morning." Simon hesitated for a moment, but he agreed. Another day, he asked for help fixing his door. The response came, but this time around, it was with clear condition. "Carry my goods to the market for a week, then I'll fix it." Another one also said, "If you want my advice, you must follow it exactly, without any questions." Slowly, the favors became commands. "Don't start that business. I don't think it's good. Go here, not there. Do this first. Forget your idea, do mine." Simon began living a life designed by others. He woke up when they needed him. He worked where they told him. And Simon chose what they approved. Even when it felt wrong, he still obeyed. Because in his mind, he owed them, and without them, he felt like nothing. At night, he would sit alone, silent and restless. He would ask himself, when did my life stop being mine? But fear would answer him, if you stop asking, you will suffer. And so he remained in that invisible prison with no walls. One evening, as the sun faded into darkness, as an old monk was passing by Simon's house, he looked at Simon for a long moment. "You look tired," the monk said. "Not from work, but from carrying a life that isn't yours." Simon was surprised. "I just needed help," he replied softly in pain. The monk sat down beside him and picked up a dry leaf. "Look at this," he said. "This leaf once depended on the tree for everything: water, strength, and life." He paused. "But the moment the tree refuses to help the leaf grow, it became weak with no strength." The monk crushed the leaf gently. Dependence always feels safe until the day you realize you cannot survive without those you depended on. Simon listened. His heart felt calm. The monk continued, "Tell me, if a man feeds you every day, who controls your hunger?" Simon said nothing. "If a man gives you money every time you need it, who controls your survival?" There was complete silence again. The monk leaned closer and said, "The one who helps you constantly eventually owns a part of you." Those words cut Simon deeply. In that moment, Simon saw everything. Every favor was a thread, every request was a knot, and together they had tied him on a cross, not by force, but by permission. The next morning, Simon did something he had never done before. He said no. No to free money, no to controlled advice, and no to borrowed decisions. It was painful at first, but he endured it. Simon's roof still leaked. His money ran out, his plans still failed, and he struggled alone. But something inside him began to wake up. For the first time, he was thinking, fighting, and choosing on his own. Quietly, the same hands that once begged started building in silence. Because the truth is simple. The more you depend on others to carry your life, the more you surrender your right to control it. Help is not always kindness. Sometimes it is a quiet transaction, and the price is your freedom. So learn this now. It is better to struggle while standing on your own than to live comfortably while being controlled. If this story meant something to you, kindly give a like, subscribe, and share it with other friends to learn some powerful truth about life.